Hello everyone, this is Mr. Bell with your latest lesson for home learning for those who are self-isolating. And again, we're building towards our creative writing PCM, particularly we're continuing with our development of character. I'm going to start with this great quotation from Yi-Yun Lee, who says about of her protagonist in the novel Must I Go? She says, "I've never had such a contentious relationship with a character. We yelled at each other a lot." What do you think Lee means by this? And then to extend your thinking, what does it imply about how a writer sees the characters they create? You pause the video, jot a few thoughts, come back to me. Okay, everyone, welcome back. This clearly tells us that there is a complex relationship sometimes between the writer and the character. And if you create a truly great character, that character may do things that you as a person morally disagree with. So they may do some awful things. They may have views that you disagree with. They may make decisions that you really disagree with. But that's what characters in fiction do, don't they? We don't want them to be one-dimensional, dull things. So you want to create the most well-rounded, nuanced, interesting character you possibly can. And why are we doing that? We are doing that so you can create a fantastic piece of creative writing with a wonderful character. We're going to work on using an image today to create a character that's going to stay with you through year 10 and year 11. That's for the year 10 students, if you're in year 11, that you're going to use throughout year 11. But you must use the skill of using your imaginations to bring this character to life. It's not going to come from nowhere. It's got to be your imaginations. So let's get started, please. And you're going to need the 32 images from the PowerPoint that were sent to you. If you didn't get them sent to you, that's fine. They're in the folder and they're called Images for Lesson 4. So what I want you to do is this. Open the PowerPoint called Images for Lesson 4. Have a look through them and choose two that most appeal to you, the two that you like best. And you're going to use those as the inspiration for your character. So pause the video, please, and do that now. Okay, everyone, welcome back. So you've been through those lists and chosen those two images, and I really like these two. I like the image of the grandmother sitting here alone, not alone. Sorry, the grandmother getting some kind of like consolation from either a carer or a relative behind her. That sense of love, the way she's holding the hand, and this child running alone on the beach with such glee and delight. There's of course no reason why they couldn't be the same story. Why you couldn't have the person as a child and as a grown-up person as well. So you've picked your two characters. Now try and reduce it down to the one you're going to focus on. And we're going to think about really getting to know your character now. Now, if you've got your curator's notebook at home, you could do it in here, but we assume that you don't if you're working from home at the moment. You're going to create a character profile by answering a range of questions. So there are in total 14 questions here for you to think about for your character. And I want you to take your time over this. This is more or less the full lesson's worth of work here. So the first thing, I'm not going to talk you through all of them because you're capable people who can read. But number one, list 5 facts about your character. Now, they could be banal and kind of trivial and unimportant, or they could be important things. You might want to know their name, their age, their physical traits. So are they well built? Are they thin? Are they gaunt? Are they kind of like of spotty skin? Whatever it is that you want to focus on. The family background, where they've traveled, or more quirky information. Now, family's usually an interesting one. Virtually all good characters in fiction have some interesting relationships going on with their family. From Oliver Twist, who's an orphan, to characters who like Romeo and Juliet and their relationships with their family, the two families at war. So you can steal from fiction. You can steal from the text that we've studied, the family relationships, and Inspector Calls are really interesting. Okay, so number one, facts about your character. It says list 5. You can list more than 5. You can make a big list and start to trim it. So you can make possible decisions, some of which you will not stick with. So do number 1 now, then come back to the video. Right, everyone, thank you. Welcome back. We're doing number 2. And I'm only going to do 2 with you, so don't worry, I'm not going to talk you through all of them. What do they have in their pockets? Now, if what they've got in their pockets is a flick knife, then we're clearly suggesting some sense of threat or danger about this person. However, if what they've got in their pockets is some pepper spray, then it might be that they themselves view themselves as vulnerable. and that they're actually protecting themselves. Probably a female, isn't it, in this particular situation? But it might be a memento. Now you're going to hear the ripping noise in a moment. That's me opening my wallet. What have I got in my wallet's in my pocket? What have I got in my wallet? Well, I've actually, in my wallet, I have got two things that are of importance to me. One is, I'm going to actually stop sharing. I think you might be able to see on the camera here. No, I wonder if this has worked. I'm going to turn my camera on. Two things you can see here. The first one, I'm going to show up the camera. This is To Daddy from Lucy. And this is a drawing that Lucy, my daughter, did for me. And I've kept this. It's not a particularly good drawing, obviously, but she just did it really quickly and wanted to give it to me one day when I got home from school. So she gave that to me, and I keep that in my wallet at all times. Second thing I keep in my wallet is this. And this is a poker chip from my local pub, the Oddfellows. Emma, who runs the poker in my local pub, the Oddfellows, got this made for us because we played poker in that pub for 10, 15 years. And it was the final time we were ever going to have a Saturday poker final. So it says there, 14th of December, 2019, for our last ever one of those. And they were some of my closest friends, those people. And we used to love playing poker with each other. And this is a memento of happy times that I keep in my pocket. The reason it stopped is because the pub itself was up for sale and was closing down. So it's a sign of, happy memories for me. I keep one in for my love for my daughter, another one a little bit more personal reasons, and it's about my own kind of happy memories in my own life. So maybe what's in their pocket is something useful and practical, or maybe it's a memento of their past and something important emotionally. Let's do some really deep thinking about each of these questions and the symbolism behind them. And that's your last task for today, is to do a really good job with this and think what is in their pockets, what's the job they have, when did they last cry? Loads of great questions for you to think about. Enjoy it. Making characters is fun. Okay, we will upload the next lesson for you when we're done. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're all well.